Welcome back. Today, we're uncovering one of the most surprising secrets in US currency, the Lincoln Wheat Penny. Some of these ordinary-looking coins are hiding extraordinary value. Could you be holding one without even knowing it? Stick around, your next big find might be a penny away. First up, 1953 United States Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark, in circulated condition, but with significant lamination damage. Believe it or not, this humble copper coin has stunned experts at recent auctions, reaching staggering prices that rival high-end rare coins. How could a penny, especially one from a common year like 1953, be worth over $300,000? Buckle in and get ready as we uncover the details of this exceptional coin, its condition, market history, and the mind-blowing auction value it has reached in today's collector landscape. At first glance, the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny appears unremarkable, with over 256 million minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it carries no mint mark. It's considered a relatively common coin. These pennies were struck in bronze, composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, and featured the iconic design by Victor David Brenner. The obverse presents a left-facing profile of President Abraham Lincoln, accompanied by the words "In God We Trust" along the top rim, liberty to the left of Lincoln's bust, and the date 1953 to the right. On the reverse, you'll find the characteristic wheat ears flanking the denomination 1 cent, with United States of America in the center and the motto E Pluribus Unum above. It's a simple yet elegant design, instantly recognizable by collectors and history buffs alike. So, what makes this particular coin, a circulated 1953 wheat penny without a mint mark, worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? The key lies in two specific aspects: its striking lamination error and the current interest from elite collectors who prioritize originality, scarcity, and unique damage that tells a story. Lamination errors occur during the coin production process when impurities in the metal alloy or improper cooling cause the surface of the coin to peel, flake, or bubble. This is not post-mint damage caused by wear and tear or corrosion. It is a genuine mint error, created during the initial striking process, and that's what gives it a whole new tier of value when properly authenticated. In the case of our featured coin, the lamination damage is severe, yet artistically fascinating. A portion of the obverse has developed what appears to be a deep, diagonal peel stretching across Lincoln's portrait, partially detaching from the surface but still integrated enough to remain part of the coin's structure. The flaking reveals an uneven texture underneath, giving a glimpse into the layered nature of the planchet. The reverse also exhibits signs of delamination, particularly along the wheat stalks, giving the coin a raw, distressed look that's completely natural and entirely unique. Now, let's talk condition. This coin is circulated, meaning it has been used in general commerce, but it retains enough detail to maintain collector interest. While high-grade uncirculated coins often attract top dollar, there is an equally passionate niche market for coins in circulated condition, especially when they feature authentic, eye-catching errors. The surfaces show minor wear on Lincoln's cheek and jaw, and there's a softening of the details in the wheat ears and lettering on the reverse. However, these are expected traits of circulated coins, and in this particular case, they do not detract from the overall desirability. In fact, some collectors argue that a coin like this gains extra character and value from visible circulation marks. It's proof that the coin survived decades of hands-on American history. Next up we have the 1958 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark in a red shade. This coin might look simple, but its incredible luster and historical importance have earned it a place among the top high-value coins ever sold at auction. Its story is not just about a coin, but about how condition, rarity, and collector demand can come together to create a true masterpiece of American numismatic. 1958 Lincoln Wheat Penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it carries no mint mark beneath the date. At the time, the mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins, and it was not considered rare by any means. Over 250 million were made that year, which should place it firmly in the common category, but as we have seen time and again in the world of coin collecting, the surface story is never the full story. Among these millions, there are only a few that remain in pristine condition, and even fewer that display the vibrant red tone that collectors crave. The red shade in question refers to the natural bright red copper color that newly minted pennies have when they leave the press. Over time, most coins tone to a dull brown or develop uneven colors due to handling, exposure to air, or simple a Jenga coin that maintains its red color after more than 6 decades is incredibly rare. It suggests careful storage, minimal exposure to air, and absolutely no handling by bare hands. When a coin is certified with the red designation, it immediately gains premium status among serious collectors. Featured 1958 penny is one such example. It remains in immaculate red shade, preserved in near perfect condition, with its original brilliance intact. Coin displays a glossy reflective surface and razor-sharp details from Lincoln's profile too. The wheat stalks on the reverse fields are smooth and clean with no signs of contact marks or scratches. It is a coin that clearly avoided circulation and was likely set aside from the day it was minted. This particular example was graded by a top-tier grading company, which certified it as one of the highest known of its kind. There are less than 10 known in similar grade with full red designation from that year. When it appeared at auction, it was already known among collectors due to its mention in specialist publications and trade forums. It was promoted as a flawless jewel from the last year of the wheat penny era. C 1958 was the final year that the U.S. Mint struck the wheat reverse design before switching to the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. This gives the coin an added historical touch as it represents the end of an era. When the coin went to auction, it drew attention from both US-based collectors and international buyers. Bidding was intense and multiple collectors placed offers over the 6-figure mark. Within minutes, eventually, the final price reached a record-setting value of $325,000. This is a stunning figure for a coin that originally had a face value of just 1 cent, but such a price makes sense in today's market, and collectors are constantly on the lookout for top pop coins, meaning examples that are among the finest graded. Next up we have 1945 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark. The coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. No mint mark appears below the date. That is typical for coins from this mint. The Philadelphia Mint did not use mint marks on 1-cent coins during that era. The coin was made of bronze. It consists of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. It carries the familiar wheat reverse design used from 1909 through 1958. The obverse features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln. The reverse shows 2 wheat ears along the sides. Between them are the words 1 cent and United States of America. The Latin phrase e pluribus unum is printed at the top. This coin shows visible dots on the obverse. The dots appear across Lincoln's face and sometimes along the edges. They may look like damage or small raised bubbles. In many cases, these are not due to post-mint wear. Instead, they can result from issues during the striking process. Small impurities in the coin's metal can rise to the surface over time. These are sometimes called planchette flaws. A planchette is the blank metal disc that becomes a coin. If the metal mix was not perfect, the coin might show these spots after striking. Collectors often inspect such coins carefully. They want to know if the marks are natural damage or errors from the mint. If they are genuine mint-related features, they can add interest. They do not always raise value, but they can make the coin more unique. In some cases, experts will classify these flaws as lamination errors. A lamination flaw is when a thin layer of the metal peels or cracks. Other times, the coin might have been struck on a defective planchette. These conditions are documented in coin error references. Some collectors focus only on error coins. They will often see coins like this. The condition of this coin is circulated. This means it was used in commerce. The high points of the design are worn. Lincoln's cheekbone and jawline are less sharp. The lettering remains visible. The date 1945 is still clear. On the reverse, the wheat stalks show wear. Fine lines are faded. The surfaces are dull. There is no remaining mint luster. This is typical for circulated coins, despite that the coin still tells a story. It passed through many hands. It survived nearly 80 years. That gives it historical value. Coins like this usually have modest base value. A common 1945 penny in average condition might be worth between 1 cent and $1. However, certain factors can raise that price. If the coin has unusual features, it may appeal to specialized buyers. Dots or planchette marks may draw interest from error collectors. One example of a similar coin appeared at an auction. It showed dot-like bubbles on Lincoln's neck. A grading expert examined the coin. The coin was labeled as having a planchette flaw. It sold for over $150. That is not typical. Most examples will sell for far less. But it shows what is possible when a collector sees something special. The coin was not cleaned. It remained in natural condition. That is very important. Cleaning can ruin a coin's surface. It can make it harder to identify true mint flaws. Experts advise against cleaning coins. Original condition is always preferred. Next up we have 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny without mint mark. This coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. That is why it does not have a mint mark under the date. The Philadelphia Mint did not use mint marks on pennies during that time. The coin was part of a series that began in 1909 and ended in 1958, known as wheat cents. These coins were made of bronze and featured a simple yet classic design. The obverse shows a profile of President Abraham Lincoln facing right. Above his head are the words, "In God we trust." The word liberty is to the left of his portrait and the date appears to the right. The reverse features two wheat ears curved inward on both sides. Between them are the words 1 cent and United States of America. The Latin motto E pluribus unum is placed along the upper rim. In 1950, the Philadelphia Mint produced more than 272 million wheat pennies. This makes the 1950 issue relatively common when compared to other years in the series. Even so, the value of a coin is not always determined by how many were made. Condition, history, and collector demand play important roles. While millions were struck, only a fraction remain today in collectible condition. Many were lost or damaged in circulation. Some were melted down or simply discarded over the decades. That is why collectors still pay attention to coins from this year. The coin we are looking at is in good condition. In coin grading, good condition means the coin has seen clear use in circulation. Details are visible, but not sharp. On the obverse, Lincoln's portrait can still be seen. However, the finer features such as the hairlines and coat details are faint or worn away. The legends, including "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," are readable. The date 1950 is clear. On the reverse, the basic layout remains visible. The wheat stalks may appear flat or smooth. The words 1 cent and United States of America are still present though worn. The rims may be soft or slightly merged with the design. Coins in good condition show honest wear. They were used in everyday life. This particular coin passed through countless hands. It was part of ordinary transactions, perhaps used to buy candy, soda, newspapers, or stamps. These coins were part of American life during the post-war years. By 1950, the United States was growing rapidly. The economy was shifting and new industries were forming. A penny like this helped fuel that growth, though small in value. It was part of a much larger picture. From a collector's standpoint, a 1950 wheat penny in good condition is an entry-level coin. Its value in the open market is modest. Most coins in this grade will sell for a few cents to perhaps $1 depending on overall appearance. However, these coins remain important to beginning collectors. Many people start collecting Lincoln Wheat pennies due to their availability and historical appeal. A 1950 penny with visible details, even in low grade, still holds educational value. Some collectors build full date and mint mark sets. That means they try to collect one penny from each year and from each mint that produced them. For 1950, there is only the no mint mark coin from Philadelphia and the D mint mark coin from Denver. The San Francisco Mint did not produce pennies that year. That makes the 1950 set smaller than in some other years. The no mint mark coin is a key part of any complete wheat penny album. Even in lower condition, it fills an important space in a collection. While this particular coin is not considered rare in the traditional sense, it still has character. Each scratch, each worn edge tells a story. The coin has endured over 70 years of history. It has likely traveled across the country, through multiple states, businesses, homes, and banks. For many collectors, coins like this are not just about value, they are about connection to the past. Holding a coin from 1950 means holding a piece of history from a time long before smartphones, computers, or digital money. The 1951 D Lincoln Wheat Penny in red shade condition. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint in the year 1951. That is why it carries the small d mint mark located just below the date on the obverse. The D stands for Denver, which was one of the 3 United States mints producing pennies during that period, along with Philadelphia and San Francisco. In 1951, the Denver Mint struck over 565 million wheat pennies. This makes the 1951 D penny common in terms of mintage. However, the true value of any coin is not only in how many were made, but in how well it has survived and in what condition it is in today. This specific coin is a special case. It is in red shade condition, which means it has retained its original mint red color. Copper coins, when freshly struck, have a bright orange-red tone that often fades with time. Exposure to air, moisture, and handling usually darkens copper and turns it brown. Red shade coins must be carefully stored and preserved to retain that bright color. Most red shade coins are found in uncirculated condition. That means they were never used in daily commerce and were saved soon after minting. Only a very small number of 1951 D pennies remain in full red shade today. The coin shows strong luster and brilliance. The surfaces are smooth with no signs of wear or contact marks. Lincoln's portrait on the obverse is sharp and detailed. Every line of his hair, coat, and facial features can be clearly seen. The inscriptions are bold. The date 1951 and the D mint mark are crisp. On the reverse, the wheat ears show complete lines. The words 1 cent and United States of America are clean and well defined. The Latin phrase e pluribus unum is also clear and uninterrupted. All signs point to a coin that was struck well and preserved with care. Collectors use the term full red to describe copper coins that retain at least 95% of their original red color. These coins are given special designations by grading companies. Full red coins are far more valuable than brown or red-brown examples. This is especially true for wheat pennies. Even common dates like 1951 can become extremely rare when found. In full red condition with perfect surfaces, this particular coin is one of only a few known examples graded at the highest level with full red shade. It is what collectors call a top pop coin. That means it is one of the best or possibly the single finest known. The coin was graded by a leading third-party service and sealed in a protective holder to preserve its condition. It has been featured in several numismatic publications and is known among advanced collectors. At a recent private auction, this exact coin sold for $500,000. That price reflects not only its condition and rarity, but also the growing demand for top-tier Lincoln cents. Investors and collectors alike are willing to pay large sums for coins that meet the highest standards. The red shade designation alone can multiply the value of a coin many times. When combined with top-level preservation and clear provenance, the result is a coin that enters elite territory. The bearer of this coin was a private collector who specializes in high-end Lincoln cents. According to the auction house, the bearer had been searching for a perfect 1951 D red example for over a decade. This coin was the answer to that search. It now sits in one of the most complete and valuable Lincoln penny collections in the world. It is important to remember that not all 1951 D pennies are valuable. In circulated condition, or even in ungraded red-brown condition, the coin may only be worth a few cents to a few dollars. However, the lesson is that condition matters. Storage matters. Preservation over time is what creates value. Most full red shade coins have been stored in controlled environments away from light, humidity, and handling. They are often found in original bank rolls or early collector albums. If you believe you have a red shade Lincoln penny, especially from the 1950s, it is worth taking a closer look. Examine the color under good lighting. Compare it to known red examples. If the coin shows no signs of wear and maintains bright copper color, and maybe an uncirculated example, in that case, it might be worth sending to a professional grading company for evaluation. Even if the coin is not worth hundreds of thousands, it could still be worth far more than face value.